classic.
I read, I went over lines.
Play a different song!
But something really weird is happening at home.
Someone's right now!
Can we talk about it?
I can't. I gotta go to practice.
Every so often a movie comes along where I am just like lost for words, and I watched Your Monster last night, and it is probably the best movie I've seen so far this year. I'm talking with the stars, Melissa Barrera, Tommy Dewey. So Melissa, I'll let you do the honors. Tell us what Your Monster is all about.
Your Monster is the story of a woman that, when she's in the lowest point of her life, moves back home and discovers that there's a monster in her closet. And then they kind of fall in love.
and then it gets dark.
And then it gets dark.
It has everything. It's dark. It's funny. It's sad. It literally has the recipe for just masterpiece in my eyes. Tommy, you played this monster whose name in the movie is Monster. And what is the process of getting into all this makeup, all this hair for the movie? Because obviously we can see you. That's not you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for noting the difference. I shaved today. It's about 4.5 hours in the morning, about an hour to take it off in the evening. It's a new mask every day. That mask dies with every day because it's so fragile, for lack of a better term. And I found it really freeing and great. I love Dave Anderson, who designed it and applied it every single day, and Johan, the hair guy, who laid that beard in every day. I'd never gotten to do anything like this before, and I can't wait for the next one. Now, famous last words. It'll be some 100-day shoot where I'm in prosthetics, every day, and it'll be a nightmare. But I loved it, and Melissa had to do the hard work because you had to look at it.
It was easy. It was fun. I loved it.
That's so great to hear. Melissa, you are a superstar singer. We obviously saw you in the Heights. Your singing in this movie is just next level. How do you prepare to get your voice ready for this and just knock it out of the park?
Oh my God. Well, just doing my vocal warm-ups, I guess. I was very scared because the Lazar brothers, who did the original music for the musical in the movie, who did a fantastic job of creating not just the song that I sing. There's like 4 other songs that we actually shot that ended up getting cut from the movie.
But are we releasing them? Maybe.
I think we might be releasing them.
There may be bonus music at some point.
because they're hilarious. Miss Bo-Katan. But they wrote this song for my voice, but they were very they believed in me a lot. And so when I heard the song, I was like, you guys, I cannot sing this. I won't be able to sing this. And they were like, yes, you can. And so then I had to really work so that I could be able to sing that song at the end. Not just like be able to sing it, but act it, because it's like, the final moment of the movie. And it was so important, and I was so nervous about it, but it was such a great experience, and I loved it, and I love that song.
She's being a little bit humble here. I was there on that day. It's shot with this big crane that's going all around her, and she did full takes, full song, full voice, a lot of times.
By the way, the next day I had no voice. I literally lost my voice. Because it's like scream singing, because of everything that's coming out. It was also freezing in that theater, remember?
Yeah.
So yeah, we shot it, and thankfully I finished that day with a voice, but then I think my throat kind of, how when you get sick after doing, like, you've been waiting for something, you have a job and you get sick right after, and then you're in bed for, like, I felt like my body was doing that. They were like, okay, you're done, you sang, now shut up. And I literally had to take cortisone to be able to finish the movie, because I did not have a voice for the last 2 days of shooting. It was kind of insane.
So great. Also, I'll ask one more question. Tommy, I'll ask you this one. Also starring in the movie is Megan Fakey. After she blew up on The White Lotus, we see her in The Perfect Couple. She's a great supporting character in the movie too. What's it like working with her?
She couldn't be cooler and more lovely. She's become a great friend of both of ours. And she works so perfectly in this movie because she was so hot coming off of White Lotus. And then she struts into that theater, you know, the scene I'm talking about, everybody goes, oh, and which is kind of like how I felt meeting her, because I was such a fan of that last season of that show. But down to earth, you know,
the nicest, the sweetest, super talented, but also like drop dead gorgeous, which is what the character needed to be. And so when luckily, you know, she's best friends with Kayla, our producer, and who plays Maisie. And so she was game to come and like play for a few days. We were all like, oh my God, Megan Fahey's coming. You know, like it was just insane.
And such an actor's actor. She was just there.
Yeah.
Like, what do you need me to do to make this movie what you want it to be?
Yeah.
Which is like pretty rare and pretty great.
Yeah.
That's so great to hear. I am not joking when I say this. I'm going to be surprised if I see a better movie that I enjoyed more this year. Make sure you watch Your Monster in theaters now. Thank you both so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.